going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of It's Debatable. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so we can get this great content coming to you all. I want to talk to you all today about James Harden. You know, I grew up in the 2000s and the 2010s, and I was a lover of James Harden's game. He's one of the most prolific players of that 2010 and up generation. You know, his step back, his crossover, him putting Houston on his back for 10 years. But now he's in a predicament where we can legitimately ask the question, is James Harden's career coming to an end? Now, I'm not saying this to disrespect him because James Harden still has a lot of game left in him. And I'm not the one, I may be biased because, like I said, I am a Harden fan. He's not my favorite player, but I have a lot of respect for his game. But I feel like sometimes people are just too disrespectful, okay? He's one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. That season that he had in the 2018-19 season where he had, I believe it was 35-plus straight games of 30 points or more, like, come on, like, you know, averaging 35 one season, averaging 34, averaging 30, you know, that 67-15 Rockets team. What he was doing with the Rockets was absolutely remarkable. But when we're looking at right now, okay, let's look at him. He forced his way out of Houston, you know, came into camp out of shape, forced his way out of Houston, got to Brooklyn. He's averaging 25, 8, and 10 in Brooklyn. Was on pace to win MVP, hurts his hamstring during the season that hobbles him. Now the next season comes, doesn't sign an extension, gets in trouble with the front office because he's going out doing what he wants to do. Kyrie's doing his thing. KD's the only one that really wants to hoop. Then he forces his way out of Brooklyn because of the whole Kyrie situation, all the drama. Okay, now people look at that weird because that was directly after the Houston situation. Gets to Philadelphia. Now we're all like, this is the piece that Joel Embiid needed. He needs somebody who can score at a high level and get him the ball because Ben Simmons was getting Embiid the ball, but Ben Simmons wasn't scoring at the level that James Harden can score at. James Harden gets there, he's doing his thing, 22 and 10, 21 and 10. Now we look at the situation where him and Embiid did not show up in that Game 7. They had a 3-2 lead against the Boston Celtics and did not show up when they needed to show up. James Harden had a couple big games. I'll give him respect. He had a couple big games against the Celtics. But the question is now is, why is he forcing his way out? You know, he said something about Daryl Morey. We don't know. I'm not on the inside. I don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, it's just not a good look. You can't keep forcing your way out of a situation once you don't like the situation anymore. You know, where is the integrity? Where's the push? Where is the drive to be an all-time great and overcome the obstacles? You have arguably the best center in the NBA. You know, I don't think he's better than Jokic, but somebody could argue it. You have arguably the best center in the NBA. You have a new coach, Nick Nurse, who's won a championship. You have a young player in Tyrese Maxey. You got Tobias Harris. You got a team that if you get in good shape, you play some defense, you play ball, and drive to become a greater player, you all can easily contend for an NBA Finals championship. And that's the one thing that Harden's missing. If he gets a championship, that puts him on that tier of some of the greatest two guards to ever play this game. So I think James Harden really needs to reevaluate himself. He needs to look at his game. He needs to look at his weak parts. And he needs to say, if I don't change it up, my career may come to an end. Because you saw what was going on. We see what happened to Carmelo. You know, Carmelo was in New York doing his thing, went to OKC, fell off. And basically, you know, if it wasn't for the Trailblazers reviving his career would have ended. I can see the same thing happening to James because GMs are not going to want to put up with that type of mindset. I'm not doing this. They're not going to want to put up with that. So my advice to him is show up to work, whether you want to be there or not. Don't let anybody know that. Go out there and do what you do because we know that you're one of the greatest players of this generation.